These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Frank 26. The American dollar is bouncing all over. The Iraqi dinar is going through a float internally. It's removing its 3 zeros so it can be at least 1-to-1 when they leave the border to float. All right, Mark Z via PDK. There are rumors that the director of the CBI has stepped down. Why is this important? Sudani said early in this process that if the CBI was hesitant to release it, they would replace the director of the CBI. Everything is ready. They have done everything they need to do for a revaluation. I'm assuming based on evidence I can see, Sudani has made the decision to force an issue on change in value. Personally, I am excited. Sandy Ingram says Iraq's prime minister has dismissed the governor of the country's Central Bank of Iraq and assigned its former chief of the CBI. The Iraqi prime minister said he dismissed the head of the CBI in an attempt to assure public anger over a currency crisis that has led to an increase in the prices of goods. Frank 26 article, quote, Al-Sudani, we are supervising the completion of a different budget. We continue to support the restoration of the exchange rate. Sudani and Ghalib worked together for the 2023 budget and a new exchange rate. All right, Hennig article, quote, a foreign newspaper, the Americans contacted the Sudanese more than 10 times about the exchange rate and the smuggling of dollars. Another quote, the newspaper said that the U.S. officials raised this issue several times with the Sudanese prime minister, the latest of which was by the White House coordinator for the Middle East and North Africa, Brett McGurk, last Monday, and U.S. Ambassador Alina Ramazovsky was in close contact with the prime minister and held more than 10 meetings. The exchange rate was always at the top of her list. All right, Mark Z via PDK. Is Iraq going to have a working international ISX on the 29th? This is in 6 days. This means the new rate needs to go before then. I would think that this is what logic dictates. Question, will the RV go live this week? Mark Z says, I don't know, but there is tremendous amount of chatter and expectations for the next 2 days. Let's hope they are right. Militiaman says what they're really trying to do is get it to the stage where the World Trade Organization is allowed to come in. It might be 2 days, it might be 30 days, but the point is they'll need an exchange rate change for them to do that. All right, Nader from the Mideast, I just bought a ticket from Baghdad to London. They refused the payment in dollars. They want me to pay them in dinar. So my sister paid in dinar to go to London. That's great. I love the idea. I read the parliament decide if you buy a ticket to fly anywhere, you cannot buy it in dollar anymore. You have to pay it in dinar. That is great news. It's a great start. All right, Mark Z via PDK, we have the end in sight according to the news coming out of Iraq. Iraq is supposed to get listed on the stock exchange on the 29th. In response to that, Mark Z says, yes, we expect they need the new rate to go on the ISX. Question, what is the ISX? Mark Z says that is the Iraqi stock exchange, which is supposed to be listed on our own NASDAQ and traded there as well. For them to be traded on that internationally, they're going to need an internationally recognized currency. This is the overwhelming consensus from experts all across the globe. Question, do you believe it will happen on the 29th? Mark Z says, based on the news from the ISX and Iraq's ascension to the World Trade Organization, or the WTO, sometime this week, it's sure possible. My contacts are convinced tomorrow may be magical. All right, Frank 26 says, if you have a small amount of dinars exchange, especially if they come out 1-to-1. If you have a lot of dinars, exchange some to cover your bills or whatever you want to for a year and then leave the rest in limbo and watch the float. Note, always speak with your financial advisors at the appropriate time to build an exchange plan that best fits your unique circumstances. All right, Claire article, quote, Al-Shamari, the government's decision towards the dollar is bold and reveals a commitment to the new central bank governor. Quote, the new governor's pledge is to restore the exchange rate within a short period and estimate that it will only take weeks. Mark Z via PDK, here is a humdinger. Sudani, we are supervising the completion of a different budget and continue our support for the restoration of our exchange rate. This headline should tell us all we need to know. Sudani's been very clear they want a restoration to their previous glory exchange rate to a pre-Kuwaiti war rate. pre-Gulf War rate.